Hi there, everyone. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today on the 7th of July, 2014. Typhoon Neoguri continuing to approach the southern Japanese islands out here, moving out of the Philippine Sea off there towards the north. And those of you in Okinawa, the next 24 hours, conditions will be, changing rather rapidly and going downhill. Now, I do have some good news and bad news with this storm system, though. The bad news is that it has intensified rather dramatically over the course of the past 24 hours. We're seeing at this time actually very intense winds around that center of circulation, upwards of about, let's pull up the latest warning from the Japan Meteorological Agency, 176 to 250 kilometers per hour. From the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, even stronger at 241, gusting up to 296 kilometers per hour. So this is still a very strong storm system and is expected to continue to intensify. Now, the good news, as far as the forecast track is concerned, this has edged a little bit farther here towards the west. So we still have these typhoon warnings out there across southern parts of Japan, but it does look like that inner eye wall, the worst of this storm system, is going to remain offshore of the main island of Okinawa here. That is fantastic news. You have to remember, around the center of this storm system, that is where the inner eye wall is located, and that's the area that really packs those winds upwards of about 167, gusting to 270, 280 kilometers per hour, and it causes that significant damage. So that's really some fantastic news that we're going to be seeing out of this as we look ahead through the course of the next 24 hours. But make no mistake with this. This is still going to be bringing some damaging winds, and let's actually scroll through the forecast here. And this is what I really want to show you. Our storm system starts to edge off there towards the north. It's going to be still pushing just towards the west of the main island of Okinawa. You can see here in the ECMWF model, it really pushes a little bit farther west than what JTWC is showing. But you still have this very massive wind field around this, and you're still going to be seeing Category 1, Category 2 strength winds across the southern parts of the main island of Okinawa here. Now, I say the main island of Okinawa because you have to remember that this entire area out here is Okinawa Prefecture. A lot of people, especially people who are new to this area of the world, this whole location is considered Okinawa Prefecture. So we have Komejima, Miyakojima, Ishigaki. Miyakojima and Komejima are really going to take the brunt and the foremost of this storm system, and that's where you're going to be seeing that inner eye wall and those very potentially damaging and devastating winds out here if it does follow through. Take a look actually at I'll just pull up the Google Maps here for you, and this is what I really want to show you is where those areas are located off there towards the south. First of all, I do want to know Okinawa's southern coast here. You're still going to be looking at that threat of these high waves and storm surge out here, especially along these low-lying areas. That's really going to be risk of those high waves as this does come ashore, even over towards Naha Airport. Already seeing here on Monday afternoon to evening, flights have been canceled, have been delayed. So despite the storm system tracking a little bit farther towards the west, people are making the proper preparations. Good news is that the Kadena base, a lot of you military that are watching this, you're relocated a little bit farther there towards the north, or located farther there towards the north. So you're going to be missing out on the stuff that's on the southern part of the island, but it's not far enough away that it is going to remove you. You actually can see right here, this is the JTWC's typhoon strength wind line right here. And that's going to move over you as it does push off there towards the north. This is only for one time period. That's going to lift off towards the north. So you're going to be seeing those destructive winds as this does come by. Meanwhile, though, as I mentioned, Komejima, farther here towards the west. That they are in the right front quadrant. There's your center line right here, and this is where you're going to be seeing those really just the inner eye wall of this storm system come ashore. Still got the outer eye wall likely if this goes through any basically replacement cycles, and also these outer rain bands are going to push across the main island. Meanwhile, back towards the west, Miyako-jima, as I mentioned, you're going to be seeing the brunt of this storm system as well. The good news, the left flank of this storm as it does push through. So there's your center line coming up between all these islands. Okinawa is located right there. You're still in the right front quadrant, and you're still going to be seeing, well, a pretty decent storm coming out of this. I mean, we take a look at the satellite imagery. You can see right here we have a pretty expansive amount of convection along the eastern periphery of this. Other good news is that it has weakened a little bit on the western periphery, but the eastern periphery, you still have all that convection coming up. It is battling a little bit of vertical wind shear along the northern areas of this storm system as well as drier inflow. So that's why we have seen those cooler or warmer cloud tops off there towards the north. But the south end of this is still full on and very expansive, and a very large wind field coming out of this. So you may hear that the storm system is tracking west, but I'm not saying this is anything to be taking any more lightly out here. It is still going to be bringing that risk of damaging weather, and if you leave your home during the storm, that is not smart at all. Let's look farther up on this track, though. I do want to mention those of you into, well, much of mainland Japan, including Osaka here. You're going to be seeing some pretty heavy rainfall out of the storm system as it does push overhead. You can see right here via J2WC is actually still going to have some 85-knot winds. Also over towards Kagoshima, I really want to mention this because with Kagoshima and much of Kyushu, Shikoku, you have to remember these are all mountains out here. So what we have is that moisture comes pumping on shore, and then it hits these mountains. There's Sakurajima over there, and it really just wrings it all out like a sponge. And this hits these mountains here on southern parts of Kyushu, Kagoshima area. You start to see some fairly impressive rain totals. And what I mean by that is 500-600 millimeters. We're talking like 20 inches of rain. That causes significant flooding. This is going to be an issue for much of mainland Japan, including Osaka. And then as we look over towards the Tokyo area a little bit farther out, you're going to be seeing the threat of rainfall outside of the Kanto plain. And all that rain starts to move into Tokyo, so really river level rise is going to be a major issue. While I have the map up here, I do want to mention Fukushima Daiichi. I already had a few of those people that always, start to ask about this, and anyways, it does look like this storm system's not going to have a significant impact for those of you off there towards the north. Take a look at this track and look at where the worst of the storm system is, and then it moves over Japan. It likely is going to be weakening out fairly significantly as it does push off here towards the north. You're still going to see rainfall in northern parts of Japan, and like I said, around Tokyo there is that threat of flooding, but it is not going to impact northern Japan as a typhoon. It will be much weaker, a much weaker storm system, really just a big rainmaker out there in northern parts of Honshu. So please hold your conspiracy theories that we're trying to cover up some sort of impact on Fukushima Daiichi. It just ain't going to happen. If there was an impact directly on that power plant, I would let you know. I already seen some YouTube videos out there, people saying, oh my God, it's going to impact there. I would let you know. It's not. We're talking about, and we stay seriously here at westernpacificweather.com, we're talking about the main impacts. The main impacts are going to be across western parts of mainland Japan. We're talking about Kyushu, Shikoku, heavy rainfall there, and of course the southern Japanese islands, where you're going to be dealing with the brunt of this very serious storm system. So with that said, everybody, I will let you go for now. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please let us know down there in the comment box below. Even though the storm system has wavered, as I mentioned before, it's still serious. We're still looking at very intense winds coming out of this. Take a look at the model consensus with the forecast track. It's not going to waver anymore. You're still going to be seeing at least typhoon strength winds over the Okinawa area, even if that center of low pressure and that core eye wall impacts those of you in Kumijima, Vice, the main island of Okinawa. So let us know. Let us know any questions you may have, any suggestions you may have. And as always, stay safe out there. Bye.